What's up, people of YouTube? Here's Captain Louis. I'm doing a small video of myself right now. As you probably noticed on YouTube, I haven't done any kind of videos lately for a few weeks now. The reason is quite simple, is I'm sick. I have a mononucleosis and a laryngit, I think it's called. Which basically put me offline of work and of school as well. So not going too well here. But why I'm doing this video is actually to tell my horror story about how the fuck did I get it to get worse, and how did I try to resolve it, and how the medical system didn't help me at all. So first of all, my actual problem started about a month ago. Headaches, problem with swallowing. My ears were ringing, problem with muscles. But I took some ibuprofen and it went well. I could do my day. I could go to work, go to school, no problem there. And then at some point it got worse. So I decided myself, well, you know what? I'll go to the clinic, because at this point I'm always having a problem with my head. It's really annoying, and since I'm always in front of the screen, it's really not healthy. It's really not making me feel comfortable. So I get there at about 8:30. They give me a number. This is the clinic, actually. It's not the hospital. They give me a number, and then they say, well, just come back. Go on the internet site. Just come back when the number will be yours, or at least 5 before, so you have time to get there to prepare to do. So I got there. It took like 6 hours of wait. Wait another hour, and then the doctor receives me. First thing she sees is my fucking lymph here are swallowing a shit. And at this point, I'm still able to eat. So that's pretty good. So she says, well, you probably have a streptococcus. So I will put you on a test, and then if it doesn't work, then we'll do the mono test. So they will take some blood sample, go to the hospital, and make sure everything is working fine. So I got to the pharmacy, and they give me some antibiotics. They say if in 2 or 3 days it doesn't start to get better, go to the hospital, because this is probably not what you're actually having. So okay, so I take them. 5 days later, nothing changes. So the next Monday, I go to the hospital with that beautiful paper, which has been signed by the doctor and says basically that I am there to do a mononucleosis test. And I go to the emergency room. I got there, the nurses get me and they say, well, this paper is invalid. And I'm like, okay, fucking nice. So what do? Well, they say, you just wait. You just wait like everyone else. So that's what I do. I arrive at the emergency at 9. I fucking was able to sleep for some miracle reason, because, it's worse than a gulag there. There's so many people, and it's very, very dense. So I was able to sleep for 2-3 hours. But at midday, I'm still there. I'm thirsty. I can't eat. And since they have a kind of filter system, some people that were there before me are actually going in before, as it's supposed to be. But some people that are going back, that have actually come back after me, are also going before me because their case are considered more severe. So this one I'm like, okay, I'm getting pretty thirsty now and I'm not in best of shape. So where can I actually get something to eat? They say, well, you can go to the first floor, go to the cafeteria. It's pretty crowded, so watch out, and take something and take it there and then come back. But I'm like, okay, but if they don't call me, if I actually got called while I'm there, I'm fucked. I mean, like, I'm losing my place. So either I'm going to eat there, or either I'm fucking waiting and suffer my fucking consequences. So, because I don't want to go back to the hospital or wait another fucking, I don't know how many hours I've been there, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wait. Take a bit of water from time to time and wait. Take my patience in hand. After that, I wait another 3 hours. So I've been 6 hours now in the emergency room, twisting my thumbs, doing nothing but trying to calm myself and hydrate myself properly. And I already feel my fucking swollen throat right now. And at 3, the nurse calls me with two other people to say, okay, Philip and two blah blah blah, go to room 5. So I step up, take my things, go into the hallway, and I check. There is room 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. I'm like, okay, doesn't start well. Where the fuck is the room 5? So I ask a nurse, and this nurse says, well, room 5 is being improvised. So you go the hallway in the end, turn left, and there you should have a door with the number 5. So that's what I do. I go there, and eventually there was a door with written number 5 on it. So I wait. I went outside, and then the doctors come in, and she chose a guy that was already there, because now I'm in a second minority emergency room, which filters basically the cases where there was a problem. So at this point, I'm still waiting. It's been 6 hours in the first room. Now I'm actually going into this new room, which I have to wait for 2 hours. 2 hours after that, the doctor receives me, looks at me, she says, oh, well, those antibiotics, they shouldn't help you, so just fucking stop them. You probably have a mononucleosis, so we're going to take some blood sample and we're going to call you. So I'm like, okay. Even if the streptosis test was positive, she asked me, what's up those? So I'm just like, okay, you're the doctor, you know your shit better than I do. So alright, fuck it. I'll stop them. So she take the nurse comes, she takes my blood, and then she says, well, go back in the waiting room and we're going to call you back. So, okay, so the nurse calls me back and she says, okay, well, you're just needed to have some sleep and just take care of yourself, and you don't have anything to do really. It will go out by itself. Just fucking sleep, rest, and it will go away by itself. Alright. So she says, well, you can't work at this point, because obviously I was having like zero energy. I was sleeping every fucking 2 hours. So she says, I'm going to give you your papers, going to send the information to your family doctor, and then after that, you can go home. So I'm like, alright, cool. So then I exit the room, go back in the emergency waiting hall, and I see the doctor playing on her iPhone. Playing some probably Candy Crush or something, or what those noobs are playing in there right now. And I'm waiting there, so I'm sitting. And at some point, it's been like 15 minutes. It's about 5:30 at this point. And I see the doctor, fully clothing, bag in her hand, and keys in her other hand, and she just passed through me. And my hand is like, she's not going for a smoke. I think she just like literally forgot about me. Just right now, the girl who was supposed to give me the documentation just ran right there. She finished her shift. She's like, fuck it. I'm done. I'm going away. So I'm like, okay. Maybe she just gave the information to another doctor. So I'm waiting. I'm 15 minutes in. I don't see jack shit. So I step up, go to a nurse, and ask, well, is there a doctor who can give me my documentation? And I have to explain everything because they're like, I don't know where the fuck you come from, where you were waiting, what was the doctor. It was like, I think it was that name. I don't recall. I didn't take your fucking identity card. And and at some point, sorry for that. And at some point, another doctor comes in and he says, well, okay, well, I just saw your file. Sorry for that. Here what you should need to do. Here's the documentation. Thank you. Bye. So at this point, my foot is outside the hospital with a prescription for some product to gargarize my throat, because at this point I'm having problems swallowing food and swallowing liquids, and he gives me my working in my school stopping date. So I'm heading outside at 6 o'clock. So it took 9 hours for about, let's say, 15 minutes of consultation, having the documentation, everything, and went out. So 9 hours of that shit. I was just mad pissed because I was like, probably Hitler in 9 hours would have invaded Poland quicker, So I was mad pissed. Was like, okay, yeah, this service is ridiculous. We were in like 35 into the fucking emergency room. We're about 12. So that's a fucking a lot of amount of people for that fucking amount of stopping. So I got my prescription, go back home, and at this point I'm just like fucking, back from work. So I haven't hydrated myself a lot. I haven't ate anything. I'm fucking, tired. So I'm driving slowly, but I'm just trying to get there alive. And I got the pharmacy, and they give me this with the prescription, which is basically like, if I can say, a small but very light analgesic for the throat, because I said I have some problem eating. So I can actually, gargoyle myself, help the throat, the back of the throat, and I can use this 4 times a day. But since I can't eat at this point, I'm just like fucking gargling out the fucking day. So all I do is like fucking gargle in every fucking room. Now at this point I'm just like gargling on fucking dicks just to make sure that I can actually eat something. And I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm feeling like shit. I'm sleeping all the time. I'm sweating. But they say, oh, well, fucking stop the antibiotics and just, pass through it. So a week passed by and I've lost about 10 pounds. I'm on, sleeping pills trying to get me helping. I tried fucking Tylenols with extra strength, which when I sleep makes me hallucinate shits, because I think it's either too strong and it's not made for that purpose. Anyway, I tried also naproxen, which helps, but only 2 times a day and they don't really matter much. So I prefer taking ibuprofen. I take about 2.4 grams at this point. Very, very painful. But it actually helped me sleep a bit and regulates my fever. So I'm taking this shit. At this point, I'm like, they don't know what they're saying because I'm not getting any better. It's getting worse every time. So finally, the week after, which was yesterday, I went back to the clinic because I'm like, I don't know if I've just been said bullshit, so let's go to another doctor. So I called first 811, which is like a information health in Quebec. You can call them and they will actually answer your questions. And the girl is like, either you have 2 things or the first doctor just told you bullshit and you should have continued taking antibiotics. Now you can take another generic, which will actually may be more efficient for your type of problem. So I go back to clinic. My father was actually helpful to bring me there. And I take my number, do the same kind of shit. At 11, I pass the doctor. I tell him everything. I tell him like, I've been problem eating a lot. I've been there a few times already. Every time I'm going there, they're changing their minds on what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And the doctor's like, well, I just have your blood analysis, because I didn't receive the actually blood analysis because my fucking family doctor was on vacation. And I mean, it's not her fault, it's just bad fucking timing. But I mean, like, can someone actually call me? Like, is there, or is this just like, well, she's back in 3 weeks, dude, so I hope you don't fucking die. Anyway, so the doctor has the actual information, looks at it, and he says, well, your throat is very fucking sore, I can understand you can't eat. So I'm like, yeah, I barely fucking eat 2 fucking glass of juice and I'm almost crying because my ears and now my teeth are hurting because my jaw is locking up because I have to fucking force myself to eat something. And it's fucking ruining everything in my health. I'm feeling my liver and I think it's rat killing, and it's fucking hurting me. So at this point she's just like, you know what, fuck it. So he gave me this shit, which as you can see, it's called Viscus. It's basically just an analgesic, much more powerful than this shit, and usually just apply it on the mouth and it keeps the actual place where you put it numb. So now I'm gargling on some thick, transparent cum that I'm really having problem with because it's like fucking slowly getting there, and I have to taste this shit. But you know what? It helps. I just need to dose my thing because otherwise I can't feel my throat. So if I choke on something, it might be hard for me to have my gagging reflex and everything. So in the end, I'm starting to take those. It helps me eat and everything to get better. And this is whatever I'm at this point. I've sent the information to my family doctor, hoping she will be back soon. And I'm waiting, for Bloodborne to come out. I tried Battlefield Hardline, but I'm not playing a lot since I'm still feeling like shit. And I'm sleeping a lot. So at least I have my wonderful girlfriend who's taking care of me with some smoothie and hand jobs. But that's another story. So yeah, just don't expect too much from the fucking Canadian system. You may have to go back there a few times. I have to give credits to the nurse though. I've seen about a dozen of them for the blood samples, for virus condition. Always very very gentle, very nice. But the doctors, man, that girl at the hospital, I felt like she just wanted to just say, "Oh yeah, you have a monoclosis probably. Yeah, just don't do nothing. Yeah, go home and just fly away." So just a big reminder that whatever the fuck your job is, just do it properly, please. You're not above us or anything like that. I find it very fucking rude. The other doctors were okay, no problem there. So yeah, that's Captain Louis. I'll try to do some game videos if I can. Probably not, but who knows? Maybe I'll have some better energy. I should be off work for a while until I get better. Otherwise, guys, just take care of yourself and love your family and don't rape children. So yeah, take care. Later.